Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about basically about triggers and things that trigger you and how you can how you can deal with it. I'll tell you a story, but I have to keep this anonymous because of you'll understand when I tell you the story. So I know somebody who I've gotten to know over the years, and this person is important to me, and without giving away any details, because the person is in a specific program in NA, and this person knows that I'm recording this video. I was asked once to attend an event with this person, and for the sake of going to the pool, which is the real reason why I went, I decided, sure, why not? I don't even know what that is about or what that entails, but I will go and enjoy the pool at this event and not necessarily that aspect of the NA event. Okay. So I went there and I did do the pool thing, and I did enjoy myself. However, the person asked me if I'd like to attend some of the meetings and the seminars that were going on during this event. And I was done, and I figured, why not? I have nothing to lose, and I can listen to these stories that other people are telling, and it kind of removed myself from the equation because NA has nothing to do with me. So I had the ability to listen without thinking of my own issues, basically. So I went in, and I went into several meetings because it's different doors, and you can attend whichever one you want. And I actually listened intently to these stories of people that were former users and in these programs and how many years they've been sober. And I was moved, and I had emotional responses that I didn't ever think that I would have. And I actually teared up. This one guy was speaking about his lifelong addiction that he had and how he lost the love of his life, and all these, like, so many intricate stories and details of people. And I don't know why I thought that I wouldn't be affected or be able to relate, but I was able to relate, and I had emotional responses, and it made me think about just us as human beings and the human condition, that we are able to relate to each other even if we're not going through the same problem. So I'm not a former, I'm not a recovering alcoholic or a recovering drug addict or any of those things, but I have my own issues. And so this particular person, I brought up this show that I watched a couple of times called Mom. It's a series, I guess it's on CBS or something, and it's on Hulu. And I watched it because it was listed as a comedy, and I thought it was interesting. So it happened to be about two girls, mother and daughter, who are alcoholics or recovering alcoholics. And I was discussing the show with this person, and I just said to her how interesting this is, because I'm able to relate to the stories in this just the way I was able to relate to that NA event that I went to. And I was talking to this person about Overeaters Anonymous, because I'd never been to an Overeaters Anonymous meeting, but I thought these things have to be like the same concept. If you're using something in order to cope with something else, whether that's food or drugs or alcohol, then you can relate to the person, or any specific thing that you're using instead of dealing with whatever problem is you're facing, is something that you can relate to someone else. So when I opened up that discussion with this person and told her about the meeting, told her about the video that I'll record, she offered me some advice and offered me some pointers of things that she's learned through the years of attending these NA meetings. So the first thing she told me, and I was telling her about my, what are triggers and weaknesses and what gets me emotional or doesn't get me emotional. And so she texts me this line. It says, feeling is not a fact, but it's a fact that you feel. And so one thing about this journey, when you start the journey, it's not like some magical thing happens and then you no longer have problems or you're no longer dealing with things the way that everyone else is dealing with things. So regardless of your path, you are always dealing with something. It's just the way that you deal with it that affects your quality of life. So the way that I was dealing with the emotional things that were happening to me or life events or anything was detrimental to my health. So I was overeating. I wasn't taking care of my body. I was not taking care of anything related to myself at all. So I was functioning at a basic level. I was, able to get to work and able to do everything that I needed to do for my job and able to communicate to a certain extent with friends and family, but I was not living at my best. So things got affected. So friendships get affected, family members get affected, jobs get affected, everything gets affected because you're not 100%. You're not at your 100% best, and therefore you're not giving your 100% best. So I've been angry. My family has had to deal with my anger and has had to deal with a lot of things. And certain friends of mine, the closest of my friends, throughout the years, I've had major issues and hangups with my weight. And I've turned down so many things because of it. And those friends know that that was the reason, and they are still my friends to this day. And I'm so grateful for that. But I don't want to live the life of someone who looks back and regrets everything and regrets not attending things because of my weight or not participating the way a friend asked me to because of my weight and making that the center excuse for everything that I don't do. So of course I regret a lot of things when it came to making decisions based on being worried about my appearance or being worried about what people will think of me. But at the same time, I've said to myself, when I made this decision, I said to myself, do you want to continue that life that you were living where you were kind of not living your best? Your friends weren't getting the best of you. Your family wasn't getting the best of you. And you weren't being the best that you could be to yourself. So because of that decision of no longer wanting to live the life that I've been living, I was able to easier take care of myself. And I was able to easier get up and drag myself to wherever I needed to go and make the thing that eat the thing that no one wants to eat and all that stuff. Because it's no longer forced on me. And it never was forced on me, but in my mind, I always forced it on myself. But this time, I kind of took that control back and I made the decision that I want to do this. And as hard as it's going to be, and as hard as those changes are going to be, I want to do it. Because anyone who's ever gotten sober knows that it's not a one-day process. It's every day. And every day you celebrate the fact that you didn't turn to alcohol or drugs or food in order to cope with your problems. And every day you celebrate every achievement that you made. And every year you celebrate the year and how many years you've been there and how you've never looked back. And it's funny because I spoke to someone about this, about how there's certain people on social media and Instagram and everywhere that talk about their weight loss, whether that was like 10 years ago or 2 years ago, and they're always highlighting that they lost X amount of weight, and they always put reminders on social media about their transformation, whether that was a transformation that happened yesterday or 20 years ago. They always talk about it. And the reason why, and I never understood it before, and I never thought it was relevant. I thought, why are they continuing to talk about their weight loss, or why are they continuing to talk about it when it's over? But it's not over. That's the thing that I realized on this journey this time around, is that it's never over. You're just a different person. You're you're a person that's been through trials and tribulations. Sorry, my eye has been really itching this allergy season. You've been through trials and tribulations, and you're kind of evolving into another person, but you cannot forget where you came from, and you cannot forget the mistakes that you made, not to beat yourself up, but to kind of celebrate the fact that you're somewhere else. So someone in Narcotics Anonymous always reminds themselves of how many years they're sober and how much it took to stay there, and how every day they practice certain things in order to stay there. So that's why people talk about their weight loss, and that's why people talk about their transformations, because it is so significant to take something in your life that, yes, you caused, and yes, it turned into this habit that you couldn't kind of see yourself out of quickly enough, but you did. You made the decision to see yourself out of it, and you're there. And now you can always talk about it, because you need to remind yourself, as much as anyone else, that you were in control and you were able to make these changes. And I don't care if you made those changes 10 years ago and you've still kept the weight off. It's important to constantly remind yourself of what it took to get there. And every step of the way, every drip of sweat, every tear, every meal that you made, every workout that you completed, were all in this effort that you put in for your journey. And they're all important, every single step of it. And there are days that you don't want to do it, even in your journey. There are days where it's not that you don't want to do it, but you're physically tired, or you literally can make that excuse, like before you actually get out of bed, to not do it. But you do it because you made the decision to. And yes, I could get tired of eating a certain thing or doing a certain workout, but the solution isn't to just drop everything and give up. The solution is to change up the routine and do something more exciting, and eat something different that day, or get a different workout in that day. Do a different self-care thing that would help you. Meditate, take a meditation class or whatever. I'm actually taking one this week, a meditation class. And the reason I'm taking it is because I have no idea how to meditate. And I've listened to videos online, and I've asked friends for suggestions on how to meditate and things like that. And the videos are great, and I listen to them, but I don't get to that state of meditation. I know it comes with practice. So taking a class sometimes for something you don't know how to do might work, because it forces you outside of yourself, and you're in a class where someone's telling you something and how to do it. So you have to you have no choice but to zero in and focus on the task at hand. So for that reason, I'm taking the meditation class. And because it's something I consider it probably a weakness. I really don't know how to kind of quiet the thoughts and be completely, or be able to, that what they say in meditation, like have a thought come in and then easily let it go and things like that. So they're not that easily let go for me. So I'm trying to explore other options to see if I can become a master of my own mind, slowly. But so another thing that this we had talked about in this discussion is, she told me about this thing called HALT, HALT. And what those stand for is to never get too hungry, never get too angry, never get too lonely, and never get too tired. So that's so interesting that would be something told to her in an NA meeting, but it applies to my life too. So if I get too hungry, I will make the wrong decisions, or it will be easier for me to make the wrong decisions. The same way they tell you not to go grocery shopping when you're hungry. Why? Everything you see you want, and you'll buy things that aren't necessarily good for you, but you want them in the moment because you're just so hungry. Never get too angry. That's without saying. Whether you have a weight problem, or you're trying to lose weight, or dealing with anything in your life, getting too angry, or past that point, only hurts yourself. Yes, you get angry, you might yell, you might say something to someone, but you might regret it too, and your actions might not be exactly how you feel, but you do it out of anger, and then you have to kind of clean up that mess. You have to apologize, and you have to, think about what you did and then regret some of the things you said to probably those you care about. And that's never fun. So it's better to kind of be able to bring yourself down to a certain level of being neutral, and not too angry, because you really do hurt yourself more than anything when you do get to those levels of, too hungry, too angry, too lonely, and too tired. And too lonely and tired are the same. If someone is, say, too lonely or bored, they might make a wrong decision about a partner or an ex. They might call an ex that was never good for them in the first place and kind of find comfort in their company. Meanwhile, their company is the last thing that you need. And too tired applies really to anything. So if you're working out too much and you're burning yourself out, that's not good either, because you will get to the point where you're too tired. Your body does need rest. Your body does need nourishment. So what my suggestion is to feed your body and feed your soul and feed your mind all the things that it needs. So the body is a vessel and it can work up until a certain point, and it does need rest. Your mind needs rest and relaxation. Your body needs rest and relaxation. Your digestive system needs rest from all the crap that's available out there. And, you deserve to be in the company of people that truly love you. So if you're with somebody that's taking away from you and not adding to your life, whether that's a friend or someone that you love or a relationship, then, maybe reevaluate the situation. And if you really love yourself, then kind of what's good and what's not good for you. And you can start to, as hard as it is, start to eliminate certain people out of your life and certain situations out of your life that don't serve you. Now, I don't know what any of you are going through, and I only can speak from my experience and the things that I've done. But I know that taking on a journey where you're changing so many things about yourself and habits and kind of things that you let slide, let go, whether that, I don't know. And, I can go on and on about this, like so many things that I kind of neglected. That's the word. It takes a long time to get those things back in order, and you can't get it all back in order at once. So you can get yourself situated where you've decided that you're making these changes and slowly move forward, and things slowly, they are so challenging to change, but you'll slowly start to change habits, and you'll slowly start to change the things you neglected and take care of those things and mend your friendships and mend your relationships with your family, and do all the things that you pushed to the side and things that you avoided, because at the top of everything, you were avoiding yourself, and you were avoiding the relationship that you have with yourself. And it may not have been a good relationship with yourself, and you're rebuilding that. So the first step is rebuilding that relationship with yourself. So rebuild the relationship with yourself. Keep in mind that no matter what happens, you have to hold on. No matter what happens, hold on, try harder. As my friend says, no matter what happens, tie a knot and hold on even harder. So you'll go through a difficulty, you'll go through a breakup, you'll go through different things, but you can't let go of your main focus, and your main focus should always be you. Whether you have 10 family members or none, whether you have 10 friends or none, you are your priority, and that should be the first thing that you take care of. The first thing you take care of is you, and then everyone else comes second. And I know that it's hard for me to say because I don't have children and things like that, but I do have family members, and I do have people in my life that are so important to me and that I love. But if I don't put myself first, then I can't take care of those people properly, and I can't be a good daughter and friend and sister, because I'm just not good. I'm not taking care of me, and I'm angry on the inside, and therefore I can't put my best foot forward, and I can't give the best that I have. And this friend of mine told me to join the No Matter What Club. And I want you all to join the No Matter What Club too. And all that the No Matter What Club means is that no matter what happens, you are in it. You are in this new commitment to yourself. You are on your path, and you are in the best relationship of your life, and you're working hard to maintain it. And that relationship is the relationship with yourself. So no matter what happens, you are your best friend. You are your best caretaker. You are your own nutritionist and your own personal trainer and your own everything, because it's you, and that's it. So join the No Matter What Club, be part of it, and no matter what happens, make good decisions and be kind to yourself so that you could be kind to others. I will see you a few more times this week, and don't forget I have that bonus video coming up. Really excited about it. And please like and subscribe to my videos. It doesn't help me right now. I'm just doing this because I really hope that by me talking about my issues, it would help someone that's watching and maybe not talking about their issues and not able to talk about their issues. But I'm talking specifically to you, the person who can't talk to anyone else about their problems, that your problems are no different than anyone else's problems, and everyone's going through something. Please hold on. Please know that there are people out there that are willing to help, and just reach out. Even if it's strangers, please reach out to someone, and it is worth the fight. It is worth the fight to stay here. It is worth the fight to fight for your life and to be happy.